Hello there YouTube and welcome back to Mobster Monkey, and today we are doing another action figure review. As you can see on the screen, we are doing Escanor from the anime The Seven Deadly Sins. My favorite character out of the whole anime, easily, hands down, because he's, again, one of those big characters, one of the big guys that are small and then become big, strong, because that's kind of how I feel and want to be. Because because I'm a small kid and I wish I could become big and strong, like the Incredible Hulk or Escanor or Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, whatever you want to say, think. Um, but yeah, so Escanor is going to be the figure we review today. He looks like a pretty good figure overall, kind of looking kind of weird proportion. I think all of these figures have that weird proportion style, but it adds to the figure, I feel. It's not pulling anything away. I feel like it's adding to the figures. Each one of them have that feel, and it kind of feels like they're being pulled out of the anime. So I guess once we get a closer look at the figure, we'll be able to tell a little easier. But before we do get into the review, I do want to take this time to thank our sponsors, which of course is Nerds Forever. Nerds Forever is a great place to pick up any of your nerdy needs, such as comic books, action figures, pop figures, and any of the sorts. So definitely check out Nerds Forever. You can go ahead and click the link down below and go to 307nerdsforever.com, or you can go ahead and contact them at any of these information, and then definitely go ahead and check them out on Facebook. And yeah, they're pretty great. I really enjoy Nerds Forever. They do a lot for me. And then also, heads up, Free Comic Book Day is May 7th. Definitely go pick up your free comic books. There's a lot of them on my Snapchat, or not Snapchat, my TikTok. There are a ton of videos I've made of the free comic books that are going to be at Nerds Forever. So definitely go check those out. But yeah, let's go ahead and jump into the action figure review. So of course we're going to be taking a look at the box first, since of course that's the first thing to look at. My makeshift bipod moved around. Tripod moved around. So first off, of course, we've got Escanor's face going on. We've got the Seven Deadly Sins symbols and the writing, and then Escanor down at the bottom. As you can see, the figure looks pretty good for the majority of it. I love that he has the shirt off. I kind of wish they would have made it to where he had kind of the ripped shirt on, showing that he was wearing, because he's got the ripped jeans, which I think is really cool. But I really wish they would have had like the white shirt being ripped a little bit on his shoulders or whatnot. And then you've got his special weapon. I can't remember the name of his weapon. His legendary weapon, secret weapon, whatever you want to call it. I can't think of the name of it right off the top of my head, but it is a beast of a weapon. When you first get introduced to it, it's in the anime. It's phenomenal. Definitely would check out the anime. One of my favorites. Excuse me. But yeah, there's the front view of the figure in the box. The side view, we've got Escanor posed in one of his iconic poses. The back, of course, we've got, again, he's in the iconic pose of him holding his weapon and the hand on the hip. And then we see here that this has got 22 moving parts. Escanor, the lion sin symbol, and then the Funimation, where you can pick these things up from Funimation. And then cool thing, too, is that this is made by MCFARLANE Toys. And then the side, we've got it stating Seven Deadly Sins. And then the bottom, not too much going on. Top, not too much going on. But yeah, so let's go ahead and open this bad boy up and take a gander at him. Alrighty, now we do have the figure out of the box. Starting off real quick, before I get into the weapon and whatnot, I do want to state that this figure does stand really good on his own. Like, majority of the time they try to fall over a lot of the figures and whatnot, but this guy is standing really good. He's pretty hefty. The upper part feels a lot fuller than the legs, and it just adds enough weight to where he stands really well. And I like that. I like when figures are able to stand by themselves without having to freaking worry about them falling over. Like, here I am shaking the table, and he's not even falling. He's not even falling. There he goes. But yeah, so really, really good, really solid. But yeah, let's go ahead and jump into... and before I do that, another thing, MCFARLANE Toys, what the heck was this? Why was it in the box? Why was it part of that? Why did I have to do this? This ruins the box, man. Like, why was this thing? Why didn't you just put it in this? Put it behind it. or something. I don't know. Like, now I won't be able to put it back in the box without it looking awful. Like, come on, man. Come on, man. But it's whatever. But the weapon is phenomenal looking. Like, this thing, it looks really good. The paint job stands out really well. It looks like they did a really good job with adding the details up in here. There's a little bit of paint overflow onto the blade where it's not needed, and then a little bit of the blade going up into the goal areas. But that's expected when when it gets close to that type of stuff. But overall, this is a nice, good weapon. Pretty hefty. Pretty. It's got that. It's like that rubbery plastic, so you can mold it. You can get it to where it looks like it's being swung, so you can bend it back a little bit. Look like it's getting a little bend in it. So I think that's really cool if you get a heat gun and heat it up a little bit. Looks like Escanor should be able to hold this pretty good, pretty easily. But we'll go ahead and pose him here once we get everything. And then it came with a stand, which again, you don't really need the stand for him. He stands on his own pretty well. The peg hole is very difficult to get him into. And it seems like the stand's a little too small for Escanor. He kind of comes off of it a bit, but again, he stands pretty good on his own if you don't want to use the stand, which I might just throw on the stand just because why not, right? Plus it has 7 deadly sins there on the bottom, nothing too important on the back. But yeah, let's go ahead and take a closer look at the figure himself. So we're gonna go ahead and do like a look at first of him all sides. So Escanor himself, pretty good detail. You got that good skin tone. You got the good coloring of the jeans. It looks just like it came straight off of the or out of the anime with the color schemes. Those are the color schemes of the figure himself. So I really like that. They kind of stuck with that. They didn't try to change him up in any way, which is really nice. I love the tearing in the jeans. I love when they add a little bit of tearing in figures. It's kind of what I like when what they do with the Incredible Hulk. And then we've got the lion sin tattoo on his back. Fun fact, I actually cosplayed as Skinny Escanor for a Comic-Con. Or an anime convention, not a Comic-Con. An anime convention. Look at that. You got that booty. You got a nice booty. Got some detail added in that booty. Very well done, McFarlane. You got to add those details, man. Got to get that fan service. Thing I don't like is it looks like there's a little bit of something going on right there. He's wanting to do a freaking Michael Jackson now, where he bends forward, because of the stand messed up his stance that I had him in. As you can see, right there, something going on in that tear, but it's fine. It works. But yeah, overall, this figure looks really well done. Good detail. It looks like it's coming off of the anime. They got a good anime face going on. Again, not a lot of detail in the face, which is perfectly fine because that's what is expected with animes, because in the anime it doesn't have a very detailed face. Majority of animes don't have detailed face unless you got Gojo from freaking Jujutsu Kaisen. But let's go ahead and jump into the articulation. First things first, I love the feeling of the shoulders. His shoulders move very cleanly. There's not any major restrictions. Holds positions really well. There's no, they're pretty tight. I guess not tight, but enough to where that doesn't fall, which is phenomenal. Looks like we do have a little bit of the muscle moves right there. So you've got articulation in that area, and then of course you can see it on the back as well. And then of course the shoulders can go up about that high. We got bicep rotation. That one's a little tight. Elbows. We got double articulated elbows, so we can get a good bend in the elbow. And then we've got double articulation in the wrist. It looks like they're at right here at this point, and then also down in the hand. And then we've got rotation. We got it to where you can bend the wrist a bit. Get a good articulation in that, so you can get some good poses. And then with the head, we've got full rotation. That's a little tight. The head's a little tight. It feels like it's on that ball joint, so you got it can look up about that high, so not very high, and it can look down about that much. So this is mainly you're going to be your pose, because he's always looking down upon everybody, because he's bigger and better than everybody, so why would he ever look down on somebody? And then we've got the ab crunch going on. Not a lot of ab crunch. So about that much going down and then that much going up. So not a huge amount, but the articulation is there, and you got some rotation up in there, as you can see. And then hips, we've got full rotation of the hips. So you can get a good bend in there if you're trying to get him to do like a pose for his swinging his freaking mighty axe. And then legs, Escanor can do a pretty good split that you could expect a freaking giant dude like Escanor doing. And then his hip is a little tight, but that's fine. His leg can kick out about that far and then about that far back without breaking it, of course. And then double articulated knees, so you can get a good bend in his knee for being a big guy like him. And then it looks like there's no articulation in the calf, but we do have ball joints on the ankle, so there is a tiny bit of ankle pivot, of course. And then we do have articulation there in the toe, like all of McFarlane toys have, which is pretty awesome. I enjoy the articulation there in the toys, in the toes. And then also, I love the freaking the sun belt buckle. I need to buy myself a sun belt buckle, so when I do do a cosplay of them, I'll be able to have the belt buckle, the sun belt buckle. But yeah, overall, this figure is really, really good, really sturdy. Feels like a good figure. Feels like it's pulling it straight from the anime. So well done with that, McFarlane Toys. I am very pleased with it. So let's go ahead and see if we can get him in a good pose. So again, we got to make sure his head's down. Gotta get this in his right hand. Maybe. There we go. There we go. We're gonna have it leaning up, putting it on his shoulder as good as we can. And then we're gonna do the iconic and get the hip pose, right? There we go. And then let me take a look at the box real quick. Okay. So let's do it like that, and then we'll turn him a bit like this. Or you just take it a look down, and this would be the pose that you're seeing him from. Right here. There we go. Perfect. Perfect. Phenomenal. But yeah, this figure is great. I'm going to probably pose him like this. Let's throw him on the freaking stand. Wherever the peg holes are, they're in the heel. Like that. Now it's seeming like he's bending backwards, and I don't want that. I need him leaning forward a bit because he's looking down upon somebody. There we go. There we go. We're going to get this pose positioned. Perfect. There we go. There's Escanor, boys. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Hopefully you enjoyed the figure. And if you definitely did, go check him out. Try to get your hands on him. You can get your hands on, I believe, Meliodas. I believe there's Bon. Not sure about everybody else. I wish they kind of added those onto the box showing what figures they have for the anime or for this this line of figures. But I know there's Meliodas and Bon. I'm not too sure about King. But definitely check him out, especially if you're a huge Escanor fan. This is a great figure for Escanor. I haven't seen very many Escanor action figures, so I was pretty excited to grab this guy. But yeah, guys, hopefully you enjoyed, and if you guys did, go ahead and hit that like button. It helps me out a ton. Also, hit that subscribe button. We're almost at 300 subscribers now, so I'm pretty excited about that. But yeah, subscribing helps you to know, or I guess see when I upload videos, and then hit that bell so it notifies you whenever I upload videos, so you guys can stay on top of all the figures I'm getting. So that if you guys are looking forward to buying any figures, definitely check out my reviews of those figures, so that you can make sure you actually want the figure or not before you end up buying it. But yeah, so hope you guys again enjoyed, and we will see you guys in the next video. And bye-bye.